Good morning, Ty. Can you give a little introduction about yourself, please?
Good morning. So my name is Ty Stevenette. I am the HR generalist here with Woodgrain Lumber in LeGrand. I do HR work with the sawmill here in LeGrand, as well as the particle board plant in Island City, and also the sawmill up in Pilot Rock, Oregon. I've been with Woodgrain since last summer. I actually started as an intern during my graduate program and had the opportunity to work with the team up here in LeGrand and applied for and interviewed for a full-time position here and have been with the company since last year, and things are going well. It's a great community and I'm super excited to be a part of this company.
Good, perfect. Can you share a little bit of background about the company and a little bit about its culture, please?
Yeah, so Woodgrain is a family-owned, family-run company. We've been in business for over 65 years. We were founded by a man by the name of Bud Dame in 1964, I believe, 1965, and or excuse me, 1954. And we started out as kind of a smaller operation. We've expanded to have over 20 facilities nationwide. We have 5 different divisions, including lumber, windows, millwork, doors, and distribution. The lumber division specifically is primarily housed here in Oregon. We do have one sawmill in Idaho in the Boise area, and our other 3 mills here. We're a new face to Oregon. The mills here were acquired. Woodgrain purchased them from Boise Cascade in the fall of 2018. And things are going great. The lumber market is doing very well. We're very excited for the success that we've seen even amid the pandemic. As far as our culture is concerned, Woodgrain is, like I mentioned, we're a family-owned, family-run company. We do everything we can to make this a good place to work for each of our employees. One of our, I guess our mantra, you could say, is safety above all. You know, I want to make sure that when people come to work, they enjoy being at work and they get to go home at the end of the day. And so we have a great emphasis on safety, on integrity, on respect for people, and being a customer-focused organization and helping everyone understand what role they play in the overall machine that is Woodgrain.
Great. Can you tell us a little bit about the positions that are currently available at Woodgrain?
Yeah, great question. So the wonderful thing about us is there's a lot of opportunity for growth at Woodgrain. The primary positions that we do have available that we hire for are entry-level labor positions, whether it's a utility cleanup position or working in the sawmill pulling chain. What that means, pulling chain, is basically we take round logs and turn them into square and rectangle boards, and we have people at the end of that process that are pulling those boards off of the chain and sorting them and stacking them into units based on size, width, and length. But we have other positions available. We're currently looking for, a maintenance supervisor and a production supervisor. I love that there's so many opportunities at Woodgrain for growth and career opportunity. I've seen a lot of people who have started at the bottom, you could say, entry level, and they've climbed the ladder to be supervisors and mill managers. And we have opportunities in accounting, in HR, where I work. There's opportunities to find careers in HR, on the safety side, even on the programming side. Out at our particle board plant, there's a lot that goes into that process of making particle board. There's opportunities for programmers to find work. So there's IT work. It's not just production work. There's opportunities for a lot of different people from a lot of different backgrounds to grow and excel here at Woodgrain.
Okay. All of the positions there on site, there's no remote work involved, right?
Correct. Yep. And we may have, maybe some IT people who, if they have to work from home from time to time, that's fine. But primarily the positions that we are hiring for currently are on site.
Yeah, gotcha. And can you tell us a little bit about the wage range for some of these positions?
Yeah, so our starting wage, it can range anywhere from $16 to $17 an hour, and we, like I said, we provide opportunities for growth. and for people to be able to move forward, whether that's here in the sawmill or out at particle board. And that's what I tell all of our new hires is, you can come in here, and if you really work hard, you have the opportunity to, have a good career here. We have a lot of people who stay with us for, over 20 years. We've got an employee up in Pilot Rock who I think has been with the company at that facility for over 60 years. And so there's definitely opportunity for longevity and, compensation to be able to make ends meet here in the area.
Great. So what qualities do you think make a successful employee within your company?
That's a good question. The main thing we're looking for, I think that a lot of people will, at least a lot of people that I talk to will say, well, I don't have any production experience. I've never worked in a mill. I've never done this. That's okay. One of the main things we look at is work history, as far as, being able to hold a job and show that you work hard, that you show up on time, that you fulfill your word as an employee, saying you'll be there when you're supposed to be there. We also want people who are humble, who are willing to learn, who are teachable, who are coachable, who are team players. They're willing to work well with others. People who are hungry, people who are ready to work, people who are, they want to come and they want to make a difference, and people who just understand, I guess, the overall mission of the organization and are excited to play their part in it. So, if I were to sum that up into 3 words, I would say humble, hungry, and smart. And when I say smart, I'm not talking about, book smarts per se. It's just being able to understand your role and make good decisions and do your job well.
What would disqualify someone from being considered the position within your company?
Yeah, good question. I think just looking at what I said and kind of flipping it on its head a little bit. We want people who are teachable. If you're not a team player and you're not coachable and you're not willing to own up to when you make a mistake and it's always someone else's fault, we want someone who's going to show up to work on time. We want someone who is proactive. We want someone to come in here who is ready to work, who is invested in the organization, who wants to, we want to employ people who want to work here.
Yeah. Ty, can you describe your company's orientation and onboarding process?
Yeah, good question. So I guess we'll start at the interview process, right? If an individual is selected for an interview, they come in, they likely interview with me, as well as one of our managers here on site. And following that interview, I tend to get back to people within a couple of days and let them know if they've gotten the job. And if they do, that job, that offer is conditional upon them passing a drug test and a background check. And once all of that information has come back, we schedule their start date. Now, on that start date, there are a couple of things that happen. I'll send an email that highlights the entire day schedule for that employee. And that day they will go through a safety training on site in the mill, which includes a little bit of classroom instruction as well as a tour of the facility for them to see, oh, this is where I'm working and this is what Woodgrain does. And we try to get them excited about this company that they're working for and the helping them to see the overall operation and where they fit in that system. After that, I meet with them. If it's, however many new hires are starting that day, I meet with them as a group. If there's only one of them, I meet with them individually and do their HR orientation where we review the company policies and I get, employee information from them to be able to, get them put into our system and make it so they can get paid and everyone goes home happy. So that's how the first day looks. Moving forward, we're currently in the process of starting a series of conversations with our employees to make sure that Woodgrain's, meeting their expectation, some employee engagement to be able to make sure that they're happy here. And if they're not, why not? And how can we change that? So that's a brief overview of our orientation and onboarding process.
Yeah. And I know there's a lot of positions within your company, but can you kind of describe what maybe an average day would look like for at least one of the positions?
Yeah, yeah, it's a good question. I guess, looking at an average day on the production line, right? You know, I talked about the chain puller position. Okay. So if someone comes into that position, when they come in the morning, let's just say their shift starts at 6 a.m. Let's say they work from 6 to 3 with a break in there for lunch. They'll come in, they meet in the break room, they have a pre-shift meeting where they kind of discuss the plan for the day. Then they will go out into the mill and they'll get to their designated spot. They'll have all of their PPE, their personal protective equipment on, which includes, vest, gloves, hard hat, eye protection, ear protection, which we provide for our employees when they start. And they'll go out there, they'll get to their designated position, and then they'll work for a few hours, whether it's pulling boards off the line, whether it's cleaning up, whether it's we have positions called graders. They're further up the line from the chain pullers. And when these boards are coming out of the mill, they assign that board a grade. They'll just have a little crayon that they'll mark with a letter or a symbol that says what quality that board is. If it's a better quality board, or if it's a lower quality board, or if it's got any defects in it, those things help determine what the grade is. So anyway, they'll do their job for a few hours, then they'll break. They'll take a short break, and then they'll go back at it, and then they'll have another break where they have a little bit of a longer break for lunch. And then, what I love is, even though everyone has their own individual job, being out in the mill and looking around, everyone's in relative close proximity with other employees. So it's very much a team atmosphere. Now, obviously with COVID and things like that, we maintain social distance. We do require, masks and things per OSHA regulation. But it's, no one's alone is what I'm saying. Maybe you have maintenance staff and things like that who are more isolated in their roles, but it's very much a team atmosphere. And so we do what we can, and I do what I can on my part to make it feel like a family here. So anyway, so they'll do their job, and then at the end of the day, they'll go home. We have, rather than a specific shift that does just cleanup, everyone kind of plays their part and helps keep things clean. Here in the LeGrand facility, in Pilot Rock, we have designated cleanup crews and cleanup members. But yeah, that's kind of a typical day, and then we do it all over again. And here at LeGrand, we operate Monday through Friday, and occasional Saturday, depending on how crazy things are. Particle board, it's 24 hours a day, Monday through Saturday. We do have some employees that work on the weekend, but it just depends on the shifts that are worked. And then Pilot Rock is also Monday through Friday.
Okay. So Ty, you've hinted at kind of rising through the company, but kind of, are there specific professional development and advancement opportunities available?
Good question. Yes. So the main thing I would say is, as far as development opportunities, employees, we want them to be proactive in seeking out those opportunities. But say that you've got an individual who's on the production line and wants to become, a programmer in the lab out of particle board. Okay. So if they are interested in taking prep courses and things like that to train them and bring them up to speed and engage in those learning opportunities, Woodgrain helps pay for that. Woodgrain pays for those opportunities for them to undergo that training. Same thing with electrician apprenticeships. If we have someone who comes in a labor position or comes in at a very low entry level electrician, we have apprenticeship programs where they can grow and shadow more experienced professionals, and they can be given those hands-on opportunities to push themselves and excel and learn and develop and increase. Myself, for example, I'm on the HR team. I'm part of an HR leadership development program where I have opportunities to improve and to grow and to prepare for the day that I may be given, leadership opportunities and things like that.
Perfect. Could you share a couple of employee or company success stories, please?
Yeah. So I mentioned that I started as an intern, and I'm now, the HR generalist over a couple of different mills. We have our mill manager out at Particle Board, who started as a summer intern as well, years ago, and he's now the manager of the entire facility. And our mill manager here in LeGrand, he started as a production superintendent, and now he's the mill manager. So there's so many opportunities for growth here. And if maybe management isn't what you want to do, maybe maintenance is what you want to do. I've seen people come in who start off, on the lower end, or when I say lower end, I mean, they're just starting. And they stick with it, and they grow, and they develop, and they seek after these opportunities, and they're vocal. And when we post jobs online, we try to do our part to make sure that our internal staff knows about those positions. If there's a supervisor position open, hey, just so you know, this position's open. I'm going to put this posting in the break room, and if you're interested in applying, apply. Bring a resume straight to my desk if this is something that you want to pursue. So yeah, we try to give those opportunities to our employees to grow, and those are a couple of examples.
Great. Ty, what do your employees enjoy most about working for the company, and what's your favorite aspect?
Yeah, so what do our employees enjoy? I have had a lot of people tell me that they like the way that they're treated here. Obviously, you may have the occasional naysayer who's unhappy, but overall, people consider this a good place to work. And that's something that I hear from people who want to interview with Woodgrain too, is they go, you know what, we really, Woodgrain caught my attention. It seems like a great place to work here in the Valley. And I've heard stories from other employees of how you treat your people, that you treat them well, that they're not just a quota. That's one thing that I love about this organization is, yeah, we have orders to fill, we have goals to reach and quotas to meet, but safety comes first. We really do live by that mantra that I mentioned earlier of safety above all. I would rather have everyone go home safe than, we reached our quota, but so-and-so threw his back out because he was overworking. We want to do what we can to treat our employees like people and help them be excited to come to work every day. And what do I enjoy most about being here? The team that I work on, they're very much a family to me. And I've only been here in LeGrand since August. And so the opportunity that I've had to form these professional partnerships with these individuals, whether it's the folks on my team or the mill managers or the production supervisors, it's great to be a part of an organization where we respect one another. And that's something that I truly value. I love that, whether you're a manager or a chain puller coming into my office, you're going to get the same respect from me either way, which is high respect. And I want everyone to feel like they're important, because they are. And it's not just to help the company function. It's because these folks are people, and we're their employer, and they spend a third of their life here. I want them to enjoy it. So those are the things I've heard, and I hope that it's true in most cases. So.
Great. So Ty, how do interested job seekers apply, and what application materials are required?
Good question. So we do have, handwritten applications that they can fill out here. They don't have to fill them out here. They can come here and pick them up at our office. The division office is here in LeGrand. It's at 1917 Jackson Avenue, and a little brown building next to the mill. You can come in there and pick up a paper application in the HR office, have the opportunity to talk to me directly. I'll ask a bit about you and try to understand what you're looking for. And you can either fill it out here or bring it back. Other ways, you can email your resume to getajob@woodgrain.com. We also post our job listings on WorkSource Oregon and on Indeed.com. So those are a couple of opportunities. As far as materials that are required, if someone comes in with a written application, that's fine. It kind of acts as both an application and a resume. Online, typically a resume, if you want to submit a cover letter, that's great. It's not required. But those are the materials that we provide in a couple of the different ways. Or you can call me and leave me a voicemail. I try to be quick in getting back to you. You can call me on my direct line here at the office at 541-962-2058.
Great. So is there any additional comments you want to make or anything you want to tell prospective employees right now?
Look forward to talking to you. Really, that's where I'm at. And if you keep putting a bug in my ear if you haven't heard from me. If you have dropped off a resume or an application and you haven't heard from me, I get a lot of things that cross my desk. Keep trying. If we're interested in interviewing you, we'll give you a call. Not everyone who applies gets an interview, and not everyone who gets an interview gets a job. But if you're interested in working for us, come in here, meet me. If it weren't COVID, I'd shake your hand and get to know you a little bit. But come in and let's talk and tell me what you're looking for. And if it's a good fit, then we'll explore that path.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Ty. Really appreciate you doing this, and we'll get the video up soon. And
Okay.
I'll let you know once it's up.
Okay, that sounds great. I appreciate Dawson, and we'll talk soon.
All right, great. Bye.
Okay, bye.